So when I was cleared for takeoff, the tower immediately requested that I step to the west, since there was opposite direction oncoming traffic. There was a scattered layer about 1,500, and my plan was to just climb on top of it. But as I climbed up and I was looking toward the south, I kind of wanted to go north, but south had looked more clear from the ground. I saw there was a lot more, kind of this wall of clouds in the distance off to the south that reached much higher, and so I decided as I started to get up to the cloud level that maybe it would be better to actually just turn and go directly north and try to get on top that way. And actually, I'm not sure. I mean, there's that kind of that big wall of clouds to the south, and it was there when I landed too. It didn't really move, so I'm not sure if it was just kind of an illusion. Sometimes scattered clouds in the distance can look more solid. So I climbed up on top to about 9,000, 9,500 feet, and heading over the east side of the Olympics here. And this is the Skokomish, I believe Skokomish Wilderness, Mount Skokomish Wilderness area, and I'm pointed kind of at Mount Deception. Now over this kind of terrain, of course, I always want to be thinking about what's my exit, what's my out, since I really don't want to put the airplane down in an icy glacier or rugged mountain. So most of this flight, the exit was directly to my right, and it descended pretty steeply. But sometimes there were other peaks to my right, and an exit can be to your right or left or in front of you. An exit could be behind you. An exit could be right beneath you. If there's a flat area or an airport, it's just something to I always try to watch for when I'm in any kind of questionable terrain. Is what's my exit? What's my out? So I continue heading north up the Brothers Wilderness area, just kind of on the east side of the Olympics here, and then just touching into the Buckhorn Wilderness area, just on the south edge of that, and passing some of these peaks, and then back out. It was really pretty. It was really pretty with the clouds and all that. And the Olympics were reasonably clear, but lots of clouds over the Puget Sound. And so you can see the clouds are right at the very eastern edge of the Olympics here that I'm over right now. And once I figured I was done, I said, "Oh, I'll turn around. I'll head back to Olympia." And the clouds were were overcast, or broken. I would say it's pretty solid, and you can see that there's no ground, and there's an illusion that when you're over the top like this, the illusion is that the clouds are the ground. And there's a break in the clouds that I came upon. Not only a couple minutes later, but it was actually very disorienting, and the reason is that the clouds and I were both being moved by a wind aloft, and of course the ground wasn't. So when I saw the ground, there it is, through the break in the clouds, I very abruptly and very suddenly came to realize that there was this wind drift, kind of a crab angle going on that wasn't obvious above the clouds, and it was no big deal, of course, but it just serves to emphasize that when you're over the top of a pretty solid layer, there can be some illusions there. And then these clouds are these little clouds, and I'm like, oh, no big deal. I normally go through a cloud that I can see through, but I realized that these could be very small remnants of rotors or something like that. I realized that kind of at the last minute, and in fact, it was a little bumpy, just a little bit passing through them. So it's I hadn't really been thinking about any kind of mountain wave activity, and it's extremely minor, but it's just a good reminder to always be thinking when you're in the vicinity of terrain about things like mountain waves or other kinds of weather phenomena specific to mountains. And this is Lake Cushman. So I descended down to visit the lake, and then I headed along the lake back toward Olympia.